Okay, so this is going to be a little bit shorter than videos that I've had in the past because, number one, there were way less college football games that happened this week than happens any other week. Number two, we still have to wait until literally this coming Friday and Saturday for the first college football playoff games, which I will talk about next week. And also heard that David Montgomery might be having a season-ending injury in the NFL. It's so sad to see that Detroit's injuries is going to really cost them a shot at a Super Bowl, more than likely. I will talk about that NFL game tomorrow. And as much as I despise Patrick Mahomes, I really do. He hopes to come back. I'm really hoping he does. As much as I hate him, because he is a very outstanding football player, I will tell you that. I'm not in the mood of glazing him, but people can't argue that he is one of the best quarterbacks of this generation. Anyways, let's get back on track. Welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football. We are on our 44th episode. Yeah, it's crazy. This has been going on for quite a while. And unfortunately, the first season of this series is going to come to an end very, very soon. But just as a heads up, next week I will be leaving out of town on starting Wednesday, so what I'm going to have to do is move the schedule to Sunday, Monday to Tuesday. So probably have to do college football Sunday, Sunday game / Thursday game on Monday, and the Monday games on Tuesday along with predictions because I'll be gone on Wednesday. I'm going to actually just leaving the country right now. I'll leave more details next week. But anyways, today, since this video is going to be short, it's going to be the Army-Navy game first. Then we got the awards, like reacting to the awards that were handed out. That was Saturday. And the bracket. Yep, you've been waiting for that bracket for a long time, and I finally revealed today. Once again, if you are new to this series and you want to see every other episode before this one, I will make sure to leave a link in the description to the entire playlist so that you can view every episode so you're all caught up. And you'll also have it for future episodes on Tuesday and Wednesday and any other day I post them. Just a reminder, I post every Monday to Wednesday unless certain circumstances prevent me from doing that. Also, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video, and make sure you smash that like button. Without further ado, let's talk about the Army-Navy game. There was also the Salute to Veterans Bowl that was played on this same day, with South Alabama beating Western Michigan 30-23. Good job, Jags. But this was the other game that happened. Once again, like I said, there were only 2 games played on Saturday. This was one of them. Navy with a stunning upset over, I believe it was like 21st ranked Army in the playoff poll. I'm not sure. But anyways, Navy just absolutely dog-walked them 31-13. Yeah, Navy took down the AAC Conference champions. And I need to talk about this. Why does the Army-Navy game have to be after conference championships? I wish they would just move it before conference championships so that, every team has a balanced number of games. But I do understand why they're doing this, but it's just I don't appreciate them moving the Army-Navy game past the conference championships, especially since an armed forces school is competing in one of these AAC championships, so NCAA, please do something about that. Let me just say, obviously, there was very less passing in this game. Fortunately for Bryson Daly, he had 3 interceptions to the touchdown that he threw. Luckily for Blake Horvath, he had 2 touchdown passes on 100 passing yards for Navy quarterback. Rushing game was okay, but nothing special for Army, and the only touchdown went to Hayden Reed. As for Navy, 2 rushing touchdowns as well for Blake Horvath, along with 200 rushing yards. Damn. And the touchdowns went to Eli Heinrich and Brandon Chapman. I hope I said that first name right. Only 1 sack, 2 passes defensed, and 2 forced fumbles the entire game for Army's defense. Once again, they just could not stop the rushing game of Navy's all game long. One of the best defenses in the country got stopped by Navy? Really? No sacks for Navy's defense, but along with a forced fumble by Landon Robinson, they got 3 interceptions. McShann, Deshaun Peel, and Luke Pierce got picks in this game. Weekly kicker shout out. Only game of the week that I'm talking about. Gotta give these guys a shout out. Trey Granat kicked 2 field goals. Nathan Kirkwood kicked 4 extra points in a field goal. They both ended up with 7 points. The last regular season shocker, kinda, because it is within bowl season, but it's still shocking nonetheless. Don't let this distract you from the fact that this has been Army's most successful season in a very long time. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got our award winners for the 2024 college football season. Travis Hunter did get 4 awards, I'm very sure. He got the Heisman Trophy. I talked about this in a short. AP Player of the Year went to Travis Hunter, so did the Bolitnikov, and you're going to see it in a little bit in here too. He also got the Bednarik for the best defensive player. Then the Gursky went to Kyle Kennard from South Carolina. Great for him. And as you see some of these awards being TBA for to be announced, those are awards that I don't think a lot of people even really care about. Burrowswood Trophy for the former walk-on. The best walk-on was Bryce. I'm not going to say that last name. I can't pronounce it. Linebacker Bryce from Oregon. Butkus Award went to Jalen Walker from the Georgia Bulldogs. Like I said before, Bednarik went to Travis Hunter. Davey O'Brien for the best QB went to Cam Ward out of Miami. Great for him. I think he was the best quarterback in the country. That's just my opinion. Doug Walker for the top running back was Ashton Jeanty from Boise State. Arguably should have won the Heisman, but the Heisman is Hunter. Congratulations. Coach of the Year, it goes to Kurt Cignetti from Indiana. Absolutely deserved. He turned a 3-9 team into a playoff team. Jahdae Barron won the Thorpe for the best defensive back. Joe Moore Award for the top offensive line unit went to Army. And the John Mackey went to Tyler Warren. Penn State tight end, Bowling Green tight end, Harold Fannin was also a contender. Unfortunately, Tyler Warren was like the most viewed, I guess, most fun player to watch, I'm guessing. I don't want to know how they vote for these things. The Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award went to the best upperclassman quarterback, which went to Shedeur Sanders. The Lombardi that goes to the most outstanding lineman goes to Calvin Banks for Texas. Travis Hunter also won the Lot Impact Trophy for the best defensive impact player of the year. The Grossa for the best kicker goes to Kenneth Almendarez from the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana. I still love that name. I'll talk about a couple more. Maxwell Award going to Ashton Jeanty. The Outland going to Calvin Banks out of Texas. Most Versatile Award for, the best two-way player, really, goes to Travis Hunter. No surprise here. The final two I'm going to be working out is the Ray Guy and the Remington. Seth McLaughlin out of Ohio State won the Remington for the best center, and the best punter award, being the guy, goes to Eddie Sablicki from USC. That's all I'm going to talk about for the awards. There are some that are to be announced. There are some that are not as talked about. Freshman of the year is pretty solid, but anyways, let's just get to the bracket. The awards are very controversial, but we're just going to move on. Let's just get to the bracket. And now the moment you have been waiting for. It's the 12-team college football playoff prediction. Yep, my bracket is finally here. So for the first round, there is 1 Friday game and 3 Saturday games. The Friday game is between Notre Dame and Indiana in South Bend. No offense to the Hoosiers because they have had a very spectacular season, one of the best in college football history, in the program's history rather. But I think the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to win in a blowout. Sadly enough, Notre Dame has just gotten a complete team ever since they lost to Northern Illinois. Defense has been playing solid all season. It's just the offense struggled early on, but they started to pick it up and they started to get used to how the offense is run. And because of it, they have gotten on a very dominant run. The question is, though, can they keep it going long term, especially in this 12-team format? My answer is hell no. Up next, we got Penn State versus SMU. on 12 p.m. on TNT. By the way, Notre Dame and Indiana on ABC and ESPN at 8 p.m. on Friday night. Saturday afternoon is Penn State SMU in Happy Valley on TNT at 12. No offense to SMU either. I love that you guys are in the playoff. Gives us a big quality win. You know, BYU Cougars, but we're not in the playoff. Of course not. But anyways, SMU, I would love to see you pull off a big shocker in Happy Valley, but I just don't see it. I think Penn State is going to win this game at home. They're going to play Boise State. They have a pretty easy side of the bracket besides Georgia, which is going to be really interesting to see how well they do. Up next, we got Texas playing host to Clemson at 4 p.m. Same channel as SMU Penn State on TNT. There's also HBO Max for those of you who have it. I am one of those that do not. Texas easily wins this game over Clemson. There's just no chance. I know Clemson has been doing well with Dabo, but this isn't the same Clemson we're used to seeing. This is a very different one. And Texas, they had just been a very solid team all throughout the season. It's just their one kryptonite was Georgia. You know Texas is out for blood. They want the national championship. And the final game, which is going to be on ABC and ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm doing this in Eastern Time, by the way. That's just how NCAA.com does this. Ohio State, Tennessee will be playing in Columbus. I have to say, Ohio State's going to be pissed after that Michigan loss. They're going to be out for blood as well. I see them beating Tennessee. I'm not going to be surprised if it's a blowout. Tennessee is a very good SEC team. However, if it's not against Alabama, Ohio State is more than likely going to beat you. Or Georgia, in fact, or Texas. And now we're on to the semifinals. I believe there's only one Friday game in the quarterfinal match. And it's the Fiesta Bowl, which would be Boise State, and if my prediction is correct, playing against Penn State. Don't get me wrong, Boise State has been doing extremely well in the Fiesta Bowl, let alone this college football season, where their only loss came against the number one team in the country. Unfortunately, Group of 5 teams just don't get the respect they deserve, and unfortunately, I think their magical run is going to come up short, way short, and I think Penn State is going to get a big win in Tempe to move on to the semis, which is probably going to be the Orange Bowl? Oh, excuse me, it's actually Tuesday on New Year's Eve. That's when the Fiesta Bowl is. But New Year's Day is when the other bowl games take place. By the way, every quarterfinal and semi matchup will be on ESPN, just FYI. First up at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have the Peach Bowl between Arizona State and Texas. Yeah, this should be an easy win for Texas. As much as I love Cam Skattebo out of Arizona State, he has been absolutely tearing it up all season. Fortunately, he's going to run into a major roadblock, which is an SEC defense, which is going to be very hard to run against. Texas is probably going to expose the flaws in Arizona State, and they're going to end up winning this game. Up next, we got the Rose Bowl, which would be Oregon and Ohio State facing off for the second time in this season. I know Ohio State is pissed, but fortunately, with Ryan Day as the coach, I don't think they're going to get very far. I think the Ducks are going to win again in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena and get their revenge on Ohio State on a big stage. The last time these two faced in a playoff was the very first one when Ohio State killed Oregon 42-20. There was also a 2009-10 Rose Bowl that those two teams were a part of, with Ohio State also winning. Is third time the charm for the Ducks? Only one way to find out. And finally, we have Georgia playing Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. And I don't know how people even figured that Notre Dame would beat Georgia, but I say hell no. Georgia is going to steamroll through Notre Dame. Georgia, they are pretty much the favorite at this point to win the national championship, and I can see why. Impressive defense. Offense could get some work, but if Carson Beck can improve his play, Georgia's going to be a problem. And now we are on to the semis. Georgia versus Penn State in the Orange Bowl, and Oregon versus Texas in the Cotton Bowl. I'm very sure these are the matchups. Cotton Bowl and Orange Bowl, Those are going to probably be determined after the quarterfinals end, just FYI. Let's start off with Oregon versus Texas first in the Cotton Bowl. Oregon does have a great chance of winning this game. However, Texas is also out for blood. They're going to absolutely... they're not going to blow them out. Oregon's going to keep it close, but deciding in that Big Ten championship where Oregon's defense was just non-existent, that was evident in the Boise State game. I see Texas pulling off an upset against the number 1 team and going to the national championship. By the way, this is unbiased. Don't think I am being SEC biased right now. This is only my prediction of what's going to happen in the playoff. This isn't exactly what's going to happen in the playoff. Don't get it twisted. And then the Orange Bowl, I believe so, would be Georgia against Penn State. Yeah, it's the same story. SEC versus Big Ten. Big Ten championship had no defense at all. I don't see anything different between them. The SEC teams in the semifinals are going to play each other in the national championship. Georgia wins this one easily. And finally, we got the national championship. I believe it's going to be for the 3rd time this season. It is, actually, between Texas and Georgia in Atlanta. The national championship is going to be in the ATL. It's literally the same place as the SEC championship game. Like, this is another home game for Georgia. Are you kidding me? There's no 3rd time's the charm for Texas. Georgia's going to win this game. It's basically a home game for Georgia again. It's the same place. So yeah, my national champion is the Georgia Bulldogs. Let me know who your national championship team is in the comments. I can't wait to see some of your predictions because I'm pretty hyped for this playoff. I'm not going to lie to you. And that's going to do it for this episode of Grizzly Talks Football. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you smash that like button, hit the red subscribe button down there, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. This is the Grizz, and that's all from me. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace. See you at NFL Week 15 reactions.